the home of the common Joe and the common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads.
Florida State. Just when you thought they couldn't embarrass themselves anymore, they did. And I'm not just talking about the shellacking and the homecoming opponent appearance that they had last night in the Orange Bowl, 63-3. You would think that that would be the end of their embarrassment, and it should be, because that's a pretty big embarrassment. But I have a gut feeling, Florida State, just a gut feeling, that the worst is yet to come for Florida State. And to steal a catchphrase from Coach Buyin, from the Water Boy, it's about to get awfully, awfully physical around here. Let's talk about it. I want to wish everybody an impending Happy New Year. And now, here they come, riding on in once again. They're ready for 2024. And the last Four Horsemen shout out of the year goes to Kuz's Corner. Great channel, by the way. Great talk about conference realignment and whatnot. Storm 4601. That Christian Fam channel and Alice Stokes are mounted up and saddled up and ready to go. They're going to help us today's college football invasion. And if you want to get deputized and get possibly a random Four Horsemen shout out like they just did, it's possible to be the comment of the day, which was earlier in the show. All you got to do is hit that join button next to the subscribe button. It's not for $2.99 a month. That's 75 cents a week. That's just a half a bottle of water for the outlaw, and you'll get your badge, and you'll be deputized, and you'll be in the Outlaw Posse. I can also be reached on Twitter at OCF Production. Now, getting right to it here. You think probably see this video, the title and whatnot, and you think I'm probably going to slam them about the 63-3 loss. And I'm going to give them a little hell about that, yes. But it's not completely about that, as you would think. There's a lot here to me that just speaks volumes of where Florida State's program is, especially administratively, and with the thought process of their players that are on the team and their former players. I got a few notes here, old school style. First note I got on here, no excuse to get beat by 60 on a major stage like the Orange Bowl. Yes, the Orange Bowl is not a part of the playoff. I'm aware of that. But it's still a major stage that a lot of recruits are watching. And it's in the state of Florida, in Miami, which, by the way, is a hotbed for recruiting for Florida State. And you just got beat by 60. Now, I know they had a lot of setouts. I know that's going to be their excuse. But Georgia had a few setouts too. But I don't care how many setouts you had. Unless you had 50 or 60 of your players set out, there was no excuse for this. Florida State is a major college football team that's won national championships in the past. You know, they've just been at bottom of the rung Power 5 team, like, I don't know, let's say Wake Forest had a bunch of players set out. I could almost understand it. And I can understand getting beat down when you haven't got neither your first string or second string quarterback. I could understand getting beat by a lot. 20, 24 points, maybe at most 28, but 60 points? I mean, you basically got beat like a homecoming opponent. I mean, it's almost like you was an FCS team. I'm sure that the best FCS squad out there, maybe a South Dakota State Jackrabbits, could have probably kept that game closer last night than Florida State did. So, moving on from that, let me ask y'all something. What if Alabama had not squeaked by Georgia? And I'm an Alabama fan saying that. Yes, we squeaked by Georgia. Georgia could have definitely won that game easily on numerous occasions. Numerous things didn't go Georgia's way that probably contributed to Alabama upsetting Georgia. What if Georgia had beaten Alabama? You know what would have happened? Florida State would have gotten the playoffs. And you would have got a first-round matchup between Georgia and Florida State because Michigan and Washington are undefeated too, and Florida State would have been the 4th seed. What do you think would have happened? I know what y'all going to say. You're going to say, well, they probably would have had a lot of players not sit out at that point. I don't know. The thing about it is, man, it just doesn't seem like they have the buy-in like programs like Georgia and Alabama do. Sort of like what Josh Pate mentioned in one of his tweets last night. It just speaks volumes about how Alabama and Georgia have this buy-in where Bryce Young and Will Anderson showed up for the Sugar Bowl because they had loyalty to the program that put them on that platform to make them millions of dollars. And, you know, I used to be in favor of players setting out the bowl games because they didn't get paid. But now they're getting paid. They're not just getting a little stipend. They're getting paid millions of dollars in some cases. So if you're going to be making grown-up money like the NFL, if you want to be treated like an NFL player while you're in college, then maybe we should have some contracts. Maybe we should have some NFL people come in and help the NCAA institute some rules and regulations that are NFL-like. But I'm telling you now, a lot of parents, a lot of greedy parents out there that enable their kids wouldn't like that at all. Because right now, all they want is their cake and eat it too. Like I said, I might could have understood a few players setting out. Well, really, I couldn't. But basically, it just gives you this look, Florida State, that your players and your program have no loyalty whatsoever. Those players that just set out just to set out, a lot of them defensive players, they shouldn't be able to claim that they're a Seminole anymore. They should never be able to say that they're a Florida State Seminole because they sold them out. They left those young players out there to basically just get completely raped on a national stage. Florida State probably should have declined this bowl invitation altogether if they weren't going to show up. If Mike Norvell thinks that I'll show them, we just won't show up for the game. If he thinks that showed anybody and it got anybody back, it didn't. All this did was really hurt your recruiting, Mike Norvell. Y'all should have took a pass on this. Y'all should let someone else play Georgia in the Orange Bowl. Maybe a rematch with Missouri. That would have been a lot better than this bullshit that Florida State put together, thinking they're going to punish the rest of college football. I'm going to tell you something right here. I got a few more notes here. Big Ten and SEC do not invite Florida State. It's one of my notes. I would not invite Florida State in my conference after the spectacle that they have put on the last year and a half with the ACC. People want to blame the ACC. I saw comment to things on Twitter about if Florida State wants to blame somebody, don't blame Alabama and the SEC, blame ACC. No, don't blame them either. All a person Florida State can blame is Florida State because they enabled these players and they made that culture down there that it was a me, me, me. Let me just reiterate something once again. Like I said earlier, I used to be in favor of the players setting out the bowl games because in the past, they didn't get paid. Now they do get paid. So these universities and these colleges are going to make it possible for you to get paid millions of dollars. And you're going to say, well, it's my NIL, it's my name, image, and likeness. But yeah, your name, image, and likeness would not be famous without these universities putting you there. So show a little gratitude, show a little backbone, and finish what you started. Because to me, it's just being a bottom line coward. And that's what a lot of those Florida State players looked like this past Saturday. Y'all didn't show up. Y'all dipped out on your brothers. Y'all a bunch of cowards, a bunch of fake Indians. That's all I got to say about that. If you don't mind, there's a little heart down here with a little money dollar sign in the middle. If you want to, make a one-time donation for that. Click on that. Also, you can join the Outlaw Posse. $2.99 a month, 75 cents a week. It's a little join button next to the subscribe button. As I said earlier, you'll get your badge, you'll get deputized, possibly in one of the random Four Horsemen shoutouts, as well as possibly be the comment of the day. And with that, I'm out of here. KMCA to all the other teams. Class is now officially dismissed.